My hands were cold even inside the hospital room. Not from winter, this place smelled of antiseptic and something older like dried blood under the sheets. I traced my mother's chart with a finger, the paper stiff against my skin. Then I saw it, a folded piece tucked into the corner, barely visible behind her vital signs. A note. My name was written in her looping script, but the date was yesterday. I'd been here for 3 days after my brother's bike clipped the curb near their apartment building, and he'd been rushed to the ER with a head injury that made him dizzy and confused. I'd stayed awake all night watching him sleep, my exhaustion a dull ache behind my eyes. When I finally fell asleep, I dreamed of him laughing, but when I woke up, he was gone. Just the quiet hum of machines and the sharp scent of disinfectant. I didn't expect to find anything, not after everything. So I read it out loud, my voice cracking like dry grass. Don't blame yourself, it's not your fault. The words were simple, but they felt heavy. I'd spent weeks trying to convince myself the accident was just bad luck, the kind that happens when you're too tired and distracted. But this was written by her with her own handwriting, as if she knew I'd be here. Then it hit me. She hadn't been in the hospital for 3 days either. She'd been home, lying on the couch, waiting for me to come back from work after I'd been sick. The note had been written hours before she passed away, just an hour before her heart stopped. I'd been so focused on my brother's injury that I hadn't even noticed her breathing slowed or how pale she looked when she finally woke up. I ran out of the room and found my brother sitting by the window, staring at the streetlights. "You knew," he said without looking up. His voice was quiet but sharp, like a knife cutting through silence. "She didn't want you to see her like that." I couldn't speak. I'd been so scared to admit I hadn't noticed her sickness that I'd been too busy trying to fix the accident with my own hands. Now he was angry at me for not seeing it sooner, for not being there when she needed me most. That night, I sat by his bed and held his hand. It felt cold, but I didn't pull away. I whispered what I'd learned. "She wanted you to know." And for the first time since then, I let myself feel it, the weight of her silence, not as a burden, but something I could finally carry without fear. Now I left the hospital and walked home, the house empty behind me but my hands steady on the path ahead.